Hey Verso, the reason I want to reach out to you is because I spent some time analyzing your content, and I generally think that you're sitting on a much bigger monetization opportunity than most creators in the tech career workspace. As I went through your content, it became much clear that you're not just teaching software engineering. You're helping creators to go from struggling applications to developers who can actually be noticed by top companies. And that is a much bigger transformation than just simply learning how to code. And that's exactly where I think the opportunity really is. So when I analyze your top posts, I notice a very clear pattern. Your biggest engagements isn't random. It clusters around ATS resume, structured developer roadmaps, and fan career advices. That matters because engagement only becomes valuable when it points to a problem that people are willing to pay to solve. And in your case, people always ask you in your comments that they want a proven system that would help them land interviews faster. And that is why I think there's a strong demand already sitting inside your audience. And also ran an example, considering your audience size, engagement, and a realistic digital product. Even using cost as assumptions, there's a possibility to have six figures without needing millions of followers. Also, obviously these variables do matter, but it's not only about the variables, it's about your audience, that they actually care, engage, and actually notice your content. And while analyzing your content, it was very clear to me that they actually very much deeply care. So if you look at the slide with me, so if you have a follower base of 257,000 followers and average engagement of like about 61,000 followers, so your engagement rate will be about 5% now. So this is being very realistic. It's a very small percentage, only 5 from your actual full follower base. And if you have a product at $249 and the conversion is about 10 to 15%, from the actual engaged audience, you would actually be looking at around $320,000 to $490,000. So based on your audience and seeing your profile, I had some products that would actually be very beneficial that we can actually use. So what is a complete tech interview protocol around ATS, resumes, and interviews? Another one is the structured developer roadmap to get from their agile life to actually the dream life. There's also an interesting opportunity to help developers position themselves to attract recruiters. I want to unpack everything here because I've intentionally saved some of the content that we could actually talk about on a call. I also mapped out how we would actually launch this. Instead of building first and hoping that people would actually buy the product, the idea is to actually warm the audience, validate the demand to see if they would actually want to buy the product, and then launch a simple story sequence that will build momentum naturally. And that would drastically remove the risk of actually building something that people would actually not buy. So we actually would know and be proven that people would buy the product before actually making the product. So the first 1 to 3 days would actually reach the pains that they're actually having and why they actually want to get a job in the first place to actually fix the problem they're facing. And day 4 to 9, it's going to position the solution, break the objections, and actually share recruiter responses and show that what actually works and what the science is to actually fix the problem, to take them from their current spot to where they actually want to be. So day 10 to 14, open the car and provide the product to them to actually get them from their current spot to their desired one. So before building anything, I would actually like to test the demand with a small story. So with a very similar story carousel like this. And this is a low risk way to actually see if the audience is ready before actually making the product. Now, also identified more opportunities that I deliberately left out so we could actually talk about them on a call. And all of this, I'll take care of it. I'll do the marketing, I'll build the product, and I'll do all the additional steps. All you have to do is just engage with the audience and do what you're currently doing. So there'll be no pressure on your side. I could also give your audience something valuable they could actually benefit with, while also making some money for you. If you would like me to walk you through the rest of the strategy, you can simply book a call from the link, and we'll go through everything together and see if it makes sense for you.